Hi Victoria, it's Fancy, and I am looking at your design and comparing it to what you said about it. So it does look better than your first iteration. I'm glad that you got good feedback during critique last night. I think you have, three nicely done points of emphasis. Excuse me. And they gradate across pathways away from themselves, so from light to dark. And then you have some visual pathways that are kind of built in around them. So there's a few more questions. So the first thing I did was I rotated it 180 degrees. And what do you think about that balance? I put the lighter point of emphasis on the top, on the one that's going off the page through closure. And the larger two are kind of in the middle to the bottom. So you can decide. Now you can kind of compare and contrast and see which one that you think works better. Sometimes when we start turning things upside down, looking at them from a different orientation, we see other things that might be going on. So I think this point of emphasis works really well. And this one is generally working really well. We're losing this corner right here as being part of this light kind of diamond shape. So this becomes more like this particular step, not like this first light step. So I would lighten up, probably this, you could try just lightening up this value here, or maybe that little tip of the corner. Definitely this value should lighten. So you'll see which one you need to do. That will work better. Then you have this one next. The same with this one. This one's kind of falling off. Maybe you have it as part of a visual pattern, or a visual pathway, but I don't think that it needs to be there. So we have this, and then we have this, and then these are working around too. So this closure continues here. But here it turns into a visual pathway. So maybe I'm looking, trying to follow it. This one's either here, or this one either goes here. So you kind of needed to, decide which visual pathways go with which. I was curious about this right here. So I can see this is a visual pathway, kind of gradates to light. This is kind of a nice gradation. It's a little choppy right in here. It doesn't flow as smoothly as it does up here and then here. I'm still seeing this as a shape, even though it's two different pathways, one here and one here. This one, I can see this pathway. Let's see, this one is this. I can see this as being a visual pathway that continues over here through closure and then over here as well. But that still leaves this area here. So I think you should kind of break up this larger black shape by doing something with just that little corner triangle. Remember not to make it look like a figure on a ground, so it could start gradating back the other direction. So this is dark, a little bit lighter, a little bit lighter. So this could be dark, and then starting to go back a little bit lighter in this way. You have the same kind of thing going on down here. Perhaps you are gradating from light to dark, and then it starts to reverse, but it's not very obvious that this is this. If that's what you're trying to do. This little corner does not have the same values as this. It's much darker. This one, I see like these two dark pathways coming together, and I don't really, well, I guess I can kind of see it here a little bit, but it seems a little bit busy. Trying to decide whether you should do anything with this. Continue this path all the way down here, unless it goes right here. But this one runs into it or across it. So if you want it to run under this pathway, then you need to have similar groupings on either side of the pathway. And then you can see if this is lighter, a lighter area over here, and see how it gradates back into there. So like I said, these two kind of come together a little bit too much. Differentiate them. And I think that's it. You call it a day, wrap it up. Fine. Good job.